Now it's time for my favorite part of the dashboard, which is called boards. With boards, you can create your own views, a form of live reports which make it so that every time you log in, you have all the data you want just one click away. This will save you a lot of time instead of going to forms and choosing the right filters to find it every time. You do this by creating a board and then adding cards. Cards is a set of filters compared in a specific way. I will show you an example. I choose to create the board, which I name After Interview Recruiters. From this page, I can press Add Card, and here I first choose which step I want to look at and then which questions. I start off with the candidate Net Promoter Score. I choose that I want to compare it by recruiter. I press Save and then Return to Board. You can see that I have it here. Now I'm going to add 3 more cards a bit faster. New card, I choose the step Interview again. I choose that I want to look at if the interviewer was well prepared. I choose to compare it by recruiter. I save it to the board and I return to the board. I will do this 2 more times. Interview. My interviews was scheduled in a reasonable time. I compare it by recruiter, I save it, return to board, and finally 1 last card. Interview again. I had the opportunity to give a fair picture of myself and my experience during the interview, compare it by recruiter, save, and return to board. Now, by pressing Move here, I can choose to change the size and the order of the cards. And I definitely want to have the candidate Net Promoter Scores on top. I want to have these a bit smaller so I can see them all in one view. And when I'm finished, I just press Move again. And then you easily have an overview of your recruiters and how they perform in the different questions. Besides being able to add the data and compare it as you want, you can also add cards with the comments to easier access and analyze them. I'm going to show you an example where I used questions with both rating and comments. I start off by creating a board which I call Job Ads and Technical Issues. Here I choose Add Card, I choose the step Application, and I choose the question, did you experience any technical issues submitting your application? This time I want to look at the data over time, so I just save it. Then I want to add the comments related to that question, so I choose Application again and choose the question, please describe your issue, and save that to the board. Then we were going to look at the job ads and the information in them, so I choose Application again, and did you lack any essential information in the job description? I want to look at it over time, so I save it, and I also want to see what information did they actually lack. And then I save that to the board. Now I have the cards here and I just want to organize them a bit. So I start off by changing the size. And then I want to have the data on top. Now I can see that the comments switch sides, so I just fast drag and drop them. And now we can see how many actually experienced technical issues on top and what issues below. And the same with the job ads, how many misinformation and what information wasn't explained.